What's up guys, I'm Puneet from Programiz and welcome back to this series on Python. In the previous video, we learned about assignment operators to assign value to a variable. We also learned arithmetic operators such as addition, subtraction, multiplication and so on to perform mathematical operations. In this video, we will cover comparison and logical operators that allow us to compare values and variables. Before we learn to use comparison operators, we need to understand about Booleans. The Boolean is a logical data type that represents one of two values, either true or false. Let me give you an example quickly. So on my compiler screen, I'll say result1 equals true and I'll say result2 equals false. Then I can print result1 and result2. Now here we have assigned a Boolean value true to result1 and a Boolean value false to result2. When we write true and false, the first letter is always capitalized. Also make sure that you don't wrap true and false around with quotes, otherwise they would be treated as strings. Now that we know about Booleans, let's learn about comparison operators. Python has a set of comparison operators that allow us to compare two values. If the comparison is correct, we get true, and if the comparison is wrong, we get false. Let me give you an example. Here, the less than symbol is a comparison operator that is comparing the number variable and the integer 10. Since the value stored in the number variable is 5, the expression number less than 10 is true, and when I press run, you can see that it indeed prints true. If you change number to 15, then the story is different. So here I'll say number equals 15, and when I press run this time, I get false because 15 less than 10 is obviously false. Printing these Boolean expressions like this has little to no use. In the next video, we will learn about the if statement that makes use of these Boolean expressions and which allows us to run different codes depending upon whether a Boolean expression is true or false. However, for the sake of this video, we will focus on comparison operators. Before moving to the next section of the video, I'd like to mention that the Programiz team has created an app that allows you to learn Python from your phone. The app contains bit-sized lessons that are easy to understand, a built-in interpreter so that you can run Python on your phone, quizzes and many more features. The app is available on both iOS and Android. The links are in the video description below. Back to comparison operators, let me copy a list of all comparison operators in our text editor so that it's easier for us to use them. So here I'll remove the old code and I'll paste the comparison operators. We have already used the less than operator. Let's try these comparison operators one by one. I will start with the greater than operator. So here I'll say number equals 15 and I'll say print number greater than 10. When I run it, this gives true because number, which is 15, is obviously greater than 10 here. Now if I change the number to 10 and run this again, then this time I get false because 10 greater than 10 is false. Now let's see equal to and not equal to operators. The equal to operator gives true if two values are equal. So I can say number equals 10 and I can replace this and say number equals 10. So when I press run this time, I get true because 10 and 10 are equal. Comparing a floating point value and an integer value which are equal also gives us true. So here I can replace this by 10.0 and when I press run, I still get true. However, the comparison of integer 10 and a string 10 gives us false. So here let me replace this by the string 10. And then this time when I press run, I get false. The not equal to operator is the opposite of the equal to operator. If I change equal to not equal to here, then this time I'll get true because the string 10 is not equal to the integer 10. The last two comparison operators are less than or equal to and greater than or equal to. Let's try them in action. So I'll replace this code with 10 and then here I'll say number less than equals to 10. The expression number less than equals to 10 returns true if either number is less than 10 or equal to 10. It combines two operators less than and equal to into one. Now I'll run the code and it returns true because number is equal to 10 and that also counts. Similarly, there is also the greater than or equals to operator. So here I could have done greater than equal to, and when I press run, this also works, or this also returns true because of this equal to number equals 10 is true, and that's why this is true. Now I could have changed this to something like 12 and this would still be true because number greater than 10 is true in that case. Python also has three logical operators, and, or, and not. For your convenience, I have added here the list of all the logical operators and what they do. Let's start with the AND operator. I'll create three variables: age equals 22, GPA equals 3.8, and then I'll say a third variable result equals age greater than equals 18 and GPA greater than 3.6. Here the AND operator is telling me that the Boolean expression age greater than equals 18 and GPA greater than 3.6 both have to be true for this overall expression to be true. Now let me print the result here, and when I press run, I get true. This is because both of these expressions are true. Now let me show you how the AND operation works by making the second condition false. So here I'll change this to 3.9, and when I press run, this time I get false. This is because, as I explained before, both of the expressions have to be true. The fact that the first expression is still true doesn't matter because the second expression is false and my result is now false. Now let's see the OR operator. I'll replace AND with OR in this code. This code means that if either this expression is true or this expression is true, the overall expression should be true. Now when I press run, I get true because although the second part of the expression is false, the age greater than equals 18 is true, and that is enough for the whole expression to be true. Of course, both of these can be true and the result will always be true, so I can say 3.6 greater than 3.6, and when I press run, the overall expression is true because both of them are true. And the final logical operator is NOT. The NOT operator gives the complement of the result. For example, I'll replace all this code and I'll say result equals true and print result. This time when I press run, I get true, but I can do not result, and this time when I press run, then I get false. I can also do the reverse. I can say result equals false, and when I press run, I get true because this result was false. Now result could also have been a Boolean expression like age less than equals to 18, and then obviously I need an age variable 14. Now when I press run, then I get false because this expression is true and the NOT operator negates that result. We have covered all the basics of comparison and logical operators at this point. We'll be using these operators, especially comparison operators, extensively to create some interesting programs in the next few videos. Before we end this video, here's a task for you. Can you guess the output of this program? I'll give you a couple of seconds to pause the video and reflect on it. As always, you'll find the answer to the question in our GitHub repository. I've also included the link in the description below. Before we end this video, here's a recap of what we learned. The Boolean is a logical data type that represents one of two values, either true or false. The comparison operators are used to compare two values. If the comparison is right, we get true, and if the comparison is wrong, we get false. The logical operators are used on Booleans. There are three logical operators: AND, OR, and NOT. That's it for this video. I hope you learned something. If you're just watching the video without writing any code, I highly encourage you to try the programs in this video on your own. The only way you can be a good programmer is by trying. By the way, you can find all the programs from this video on GitHub. I posted the link in the description below. Feel free to copy the programs and edit them on as you please. And if you have any questions and feedback, use the comment section below. Join me in this video series and let's explore the exciting world of programming together. If you like this video, hit the like button now, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel and ring that bell icon so that you don't miss the next video. In the next video, we will learn about decision making in programming using the if statement. That's where things get really interesting in programming. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy programming.